Hey, how you doing today? This is Ken from Cowboy Parables. Just thought I'd just share with you. I'm on the road today. I'm out here in the mountains and overlooking some ranches and different places. One here off to my left here's got a bunch of barns and big buildings and grazing ground and timber on the hillside and distance of the horses and some of the cattle kind of scattered out. It's amazing though when you drive down through here, everybody's got livestock and everybody's got their fences and everybody has their perimeters. But what's interesting too is how do these people know whose livestock is what? Well, it's called a brand. And that brand was to distinguish ownership, identity. In other words, it's locked in to where nobody else could come along and try to steal the livestock, or if they did, they get caught. And all they do is identify the brand. Well, what's interesting is that that when God made a covenant with Abraham, uh, part of the covenant was the circumcision. That circumcision in that time was like a brand. It was an identity, so that God would know who His people were, who his at that time. And we know now, in life today, after Jesus came and did what He did on the cross of Calvary, it was no longer a circumcision of the flesh, but it was a circumcision of the heart. Which, when you think of the heart, the man's our lives, it goes even deeper. And, when you put a brand on cattle, that brand goes pretty deep. It's not just a surface level; it's deep, and it's recorded. It's inspected by brand inspectors in case there's a conflict of interest between people and their ownership of their livestock. I mean, horses are branded too. And sometimes people try to, in the old days, of the cattle industry, there was cattle rustling going on and trying to blotch the brands or put another brand on. But brands are registered to different states and monitored. And therefore, if somebody steals an animal and that brand inspector finds a brand on it, uh, there's going to be some people in trouble. And it kind of is the same way with the brand of our heart. The circumcision of our heart is what it was like a brand. And, the enemy is trying to put his own brand on people in this day and age. People with messed up lives, not knowing where their destiny is. See, when a cattleman raises his cattle and he puts the brand on those cattle, all that livestock has a destiny. They know their purpose and what's going to take place. And the enemy, he's trying to put his own brands wherever he can on whoever he can, and he really doesn't care about the identity of that brand. He just wants to make sure that you're his turf, that you are something that he can mess with and torture and disrupt and what have you. But I want you to know today that you don't have to put up with his brand anymore. You don't have to put up with his nonsense. See, his brand is not registered. His brand isn't taken care of or monitored. Not like the circumcision of the heart of man. When your life is circumcised through Jesus Christ and His shed blood, oh, it's recorded. It's recorded in heaven, and God knows that brand in your life, and He's going to do all He can do to make sure that brand is not stolen or taken from you or try to blotch it or whatever. And if something does happen, He's going to come along. He's going to find out who it is that's messing around, and He'll know it's the enemy. So just like the brand on livestock. I mean, there's some horses over here too, and I'm sure that they probably got a brand on them too. But you know what? Today, let Jesus Christ brand your heart with love, joy, and peace and forgiveness that you've never had before in your life, so that you know that you have an identity. You know where you belong. You know your ownership. and you know your place to be. Just like a brand on cattle, they know where they're in a specific area, they're a specific ranch, and that's what the circumcision of the heart is. It's in the ranch of God. And so just search your heart, let God minister to you, and see you later. This is Ken on Cowboy Parables. Thank you. Bye.